So that's what we did. Today we are going to first use AI to create for us all the measures. And after we have done that, then we are going to load all the measures. We see how do we load them directly into Power BI. Then we are going to drop into visualization, which is our major session for today. And for visualization, we are going to start with principles of design, visualization, telling a story. So visualization is all about telling a story from your data. What principles do we use? Do we just block visuals like you see here, you put them where you feel like they are smart and you go with that? No. There are a lot of principles we follow, and when you take up the principles, then it becomes easy for you to have your dashboards done with ease, and also easy to be read by the users or the recipients you have created the dashboards for. Okay, so how do we create measures we need in AI? First of all, you need to always give AI a bit of information of what you run with. So which information do we need to give AI is mostly the structure of the tables we have, the relationship of the models we have, and stating the major KPIs that you can define or that you can run in the analysis for the data models you have. So what we are going to do is I'm going to right click here and expand all these tables to make sure that they are visible for me to take a screenshot. So I can reduce this a bit like this. Here we go. Here we go, right? So I'll go ahead and take a screenshot this. So we shall save this. So here what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to gather knowledge. Remember, artificial intelligence that only work right and perfect the moment you give it more knowledge about what you need. As long as you don't give knowledge, it will use the knowledge on the internet and give you a lot of, it will give you stuff. AI will never fail to give you an answer. It will give you an answer, but remember, garbage in, garbage out. So you always need to give it the context. So first of all, we start with our model. I will save this model. I can put it, let me have this on desktop. Yes, no. We have a folder here. Let me check. Okay, before we had done that with another class, but let's gather ours. So this is our model. So that's our model. Then something else, you can always click also on the relationship, because remember here the relationships are not, they may be not clear. Yes, we see that all the tables are related, but it is always also clear when you also take this. So I will also take this, save. Then this I call it relationship. Then another thing, if you want, you can always go ahead and give it the structure of these tables. So sometimes the structure of these tables, you can just screenshot or you can even download and give it samples, right? So we can always take like downloads and give it samples. But for now, let's have screenshots, which we are going to run with. Though for the dimension stock, then fact table, this may be long for us, but we are going to see how we are going to manage it. Then, okay, so we start with this. So you can go ahead and take a screenshot. Why do we do this? Most of the cases is we don't want to give full data, maybe it is confidential to AI. but at least we want a snippet of guidelines on how we can carry on with. You need ideas. You would have spent 2 hours thinking about what the KPIs are going to do, but now we have tools. But these tools may not be approved by the organization or the business to be used. But if they are, then use those tools. If it is Copilot, use it. If it is Gemini, use it. Because if a business has a workspace and Gemini is activated, it means that at some point it is allowed for some usage, but not using it like running payrolls there and everything, passwords and all that. So you use it for some data that is not confidential. So you can take the table structures, but also the other models we have done are way clear, but you can always add on the table structures by taking screenshots. So I'll take a screenshot that also covers the name here, such that it's clear that this is Dim City. So I'll save this as Dim City. In case you have any question, please you can ask. Then this is customer. So you see, I'm just getting a sample of 10 to 20, not the full data. Otherwise, I would have downloaded all the data and give it to AI, which you can when you have your so it comes easy. So this is DIM employee. So we have stock, which is way longer, but I think we can just take it from here. Just giving it samples. Oh, I did copy instead of save. So this is DIM stock item. Then we have fact. Obviously, it's longer. The description is not so important for us. This, we are not going to use it anywhere. What else? Then the excluding tax, we are not going to use it. Tax amount, no. Just trying to make sure that though it is longer, so we can take 2 of them. So just a moment. So this is fact final. I can copy this because I will need it. I call this one. Then you can scroll for the extreme. We do the same. Don't mind even if you do it ×2. This is going to be AI which will be doing this. Always it will pick it up. Okay, I think we exhausted everything. So now we go to AI. Whichever AI you use, let's say here we have ChatGPT. So I will look out for maybe Power BI classes. I will use these Power BI classes where we have used it always. So it becomes easy for me. It has already the knowledge to the history of what I was chatting. But even though for you start a new chat, it's okay. It's okay. Then if you have a paid one, you can always create a project and upload all the different as screenshots. Then I think for the free version, you may be limited somehow with how many pictures you upload. I think, though I'm not sure because I've been using Pro, so I don't know what the free limits and doesn't limit, but what I know it limits somehow. So we create a new chart. This is the chart we are going to start with. So here we go. So I will upload all the files I have. So go to June. So these are the files I have already. Okay, uploaded. Now, how we prompt with AI is, first of all, you always start with giving it a role. Then after giving it a role, you give it a context. Then after the context, you give it constraints of what it shouldn't do. Then you ask for an output. Then after that, you redirect it how it should give you the output. If you want it in an Excel, you tell it I want a .csv or a .xlsx, that is a workbook. If you want in Word, .doc, or even you can say I want it in Word document. It will give you the right documentation. So now here I'm going to start. Then on another thing, we have what we call Whisper. You can speak and it types for you because most of the cases typing will take long and you will have a lot of stuff you're including rather than using maybe as a speech to text. So there is always this option here of recording this, then it will transcript what you have said into a text. Or you can use this and converse, like have a conversation with AI itself. If you haven't tried, then you try it out. Then for me, I use what they call Whisper. You'll look out for it. This is Whisper. So the moment you have Whisper for it, even it does the formatting for you. So you just speak. Obviously, I'm using a free one. That's why they're telling me I have these words remaining for this week. Every week they give you 2,000 words. But paying for it becomes easy that even WhatsApp, you just speak and it formats for you the WhatsApp message. You speak an email, it formats not even just converting text, but it also formats. So let's start. What we said, you start with a role. So the role we are going to give, you are a Power BI developer or a business analyst. Then what do we want? What has been shared are screenshots of all our data frames. Then our model, data models, and the relationship. And what do we want? We want a high level business KPIs that can be reported from the data given. Make sure you maintain, you can even give it a constraint. Maintain to a maximum of these KPIs. Or you can even give it a context that the business is suffering from customer attrition, maybe the churn rate is high. Already you have that problem by the time you start planning to build a dashboard. So the moment you give AI the problem the business is suffering right now, it will give you the right KPIs rather than hallucinating with a lot of stuff, right? Then you can also redirect it that I want at least a high level maximum, maybe of 10 KPIs that I can report to. The include the growth rates, the time intelligence, KPIs like year to date, month to date, month on month, something like that. Then also measures for color coding for both negatives and positives, for cards, visuals, and that. So I don't know whether you comprehend what I'm talking about. Where you will want to give a measure that if someone clicked or if the profit became a negative, then it should, whatever card you have given, it should become a red. Then if it becomes a positive, it should be in green, something like that. Obviously, for now, we may not focus more on that, just to have the brief we need. Then after that, we are going to tell it to put all the DAX together. Then we shall be able to load them at once. So let's start, guys. So I'm going to dictate, I will not type. So you are a Power BI developer or a business analyst for a business that is running a sales data capture, which is attached in the screenshots. The framework of the tables, the data model, which is already a star schema, and the relationship they have between the tables attached. I want to have high-level KPIs for a business with major issues that it is running while capturing such a data in that business for sales. And also include the time intelligence KPIs like YTD, MTD, month on month, year on year, the percentages of some of the KPIs, but keeping it high level. Don't give me any KPI that is an add-on. All KPIs should be high level, which I'm going to use to build a dashboard that will have visuals like charts, scorecards, slicers. Then you can also include measures to support on color coding for the different measures. So I will release, and it is, you see, now this is the beauty with Whisper, that when you type, when you start speaking and you have the, you know, when someone is speaking, you have those skips and all that. It detects all that and it never comes. It does the punctuation right. So you can just imagine. Yeah, I know for the ChatGPT one is also good, but for it, it will include all the skips and the hams and everything. So you can always install Whisper on your PC, and it is a good one. It will always help you to run some of the things. And they call it Whisper for a reason, that even if you're in a bar at night with a loud voice noise in your surrounding, the moment you whisper to it, it will always give you the right context you have whispered to it. That's why it is called Whisper. So this is it. So let's first run we are going to keep enhancing this. So I'm going to run this, and it will start running. And you'll realize that we started with giving a role, we gave it a context, we gave it constraints somewhere, don't give this, that. Here it is. So it tells us that it has detected the tables, the data tables you have are these, yes. And it has looked at my relationship, yes. Improve accuracy for tools workflow. No, I don't need this for now. Okay. Now, the executive sales dashboard framework. Now, here there are questions. For an executive dashboard, avoid putting every metric available. Executive typically wants to answer these questions. Are we selling? Are we profitable? Are we growing? Who is driving sales? What products are performing? Sorry. Then you see, those are the questions that you'll always be asked if you are a data analyst. And you shouldn't always fumble how to get these questions. Just put together your prompts and the different tools will always support. Now, these are the top KPIs they have given me. The revenue, which we already have. The color, green, above green, this is this. It's just doing explanatory on that. The profit we already have. The quantity sold. Then the number of orders you see, ordered instinct, Then the average order value it is giving us, We have here the profit margin, which we already did, the divide profit and revenue, if you remember very well. Then here it is the time intelligence KPIs. That is revenue year to date, which is total year to date, revenue, and the date column. We did that last time. The profit year to date, you replace just with profit here. You see now, when you already know the basics of DAX, it becomes easy when the AI gives you the DAX. You easily tell that this is what I needed. Then when you come to quantity Y to date is total YTD. Then you give here quantity sold because you have already calculated this. Then comma, the dim date column. Done. Then the month to date, it has given us the month to date for both revenue and profit, then even and orders. Then the previous month, which is calculating previous month, that is calculate revenue, and you use the previous month function. Then the month-on-month growth, which is you divide the revenue minus revenue previous month, because you have already got it here. Then you divide by the revenue previous month. Very easy. As long as you know the syntax of the DAX, it is always easy to get such. So the previous year revenue, we did this last time, same period last year. You just say calculate revenue, same period last year, then you put the date column you have in your data, which is always on the calendar table. Then the year-on-year growth, it is also easy. The revenue minus revenue last year, which you already have here. Then, so year-on-year and month-on-month, those ones are easy for you to get. Likewise, you can get the profit, the quantity, and all that. Here they are telling you because it is just a replacement here. Then you're going to have trend KPIs where here now they are giving us that you will put line charts in your dashboards. That is revenue, profit, quantity. That's where you have this. If you'll help me annotate, just to tell, since we're already also on visualization, where you're going to have a line chart like this. So here you say if you're going to go with revenue, then here you have, let's say, months. Then here you have revenue, and you'll have your line chart like this, such that you know how the trend was. So you can even combine them. You have revenue here. You also add maybe profit. You can also add quantity, maybe by adding a secondary axis this side, which will be for quantity. Then this side is for currency, where currency can be revenue, profits. Then for numbers, the other side, you have orders and quantities. You can combine them, but it is always good to always have them separate. Obviously here by month, which will always be on the y-axis. So then for products KPIs, where they are telling us that you can have like the top 10 products revenue you're selling, the top 10 products by profit, the bottom 10, the revenue, all that we are going to see how we are going to comprehend. But right now, we were focusing on the measures that it is going to give us. Now, since we already have the measures, and also it has given us even how the dashboard view is going to be, please have the scorecards. They have given us 6 scorecards, then putting the trend charts, then the donut chart, you can run with those, then the top, the customer rate, and all that. You can add a map since you have the city. But all in all, you put what is required. Then now these are the conditional formatting measures, where the revenue, if revenue status, here we will do the switch. If the revenue year on year, sorry, Andrew has dropped. If the revenue year on year is growth 10%, then excellent. Then when it is greater than good, then average. Then if anything is less than that, then we go for poor. So that is the colors. Now these are color codes, which means when you take this color code, you'll find like it is green, this is amber, this is red, or this is gray, and and red, something like that. Now, how do we load these? I know if you want to take one by one, let's say if we start with what we have. Let's go on the time intelligence. Year to date, do we have year to date? Okay, let's take this. So if you want to load one by one, you'll just copy, then you go to your Power BI, then you come obviously on visual here, then you right click on that table because we want it to be there. But if you already have folders, you come and right click on the folder. Did we have here? Okay. You right click on the folder, then you say, I want a new measure like this. Then it will load this, the visual here, then you paste, right? Paste like this. So when we paste, it is giving an error here, meaning that it is not recognizing the revenue, the revenue DAX. First of all, did we have revenue here? Just a moment. Did we have revenue? Yes, we have it, but ours is called total revenue, right? So which means if you want to go with that without creating a new revenue, then you have to change this to that. So let's go and create the time intelligence, but at least it helps you not starting from scratch. So I will paste that. So our revenue here was called total revenue, which is this. So you see the error goes. I told you when there are spaces, it doesn't affect in DAX in Power BI. It doesn't affect. These spaces, even if you leave them there, they don't affect. But obviously, you don't need something that is stretchy, yet it is simple. So I'll go ahead and commit that, and this should be giving me revenue year to date, right? So which means when you insert it, we had revenue year to date here last time. Yes, it was here. So let's add this one we have calculated. We see whether it is the same. Revenue year to date, let's add it here. Boom. So when you look at this, so you see that what we calculated last time and what has been calculated right now, these two, they are the same. You get those two, they are the same. So now the question comes, if we want to load all those DAX at once, that's where now it brings us to this fourth data query view. We had not, I remember telling you that let's first focus on the three, the fourth one will come. Now this is the time. We only use this, you use this when you're running like multiple DAX at once, such that you're not going to copy one by one or create one by one. Now, here they even give you the way to run it, and they are giving us an example. Right click on the table, measure and all that, then create a new query. So you can ask Copilot for helping write DAX. So if we were having a subscription here, I would ask Copilot here to write for me DAX, and it would write the DAX, or it can even explain. So if I select this and I say explain this query, Copilot is going to run and give me an explanation for that query. It may take long, but we can wait. So if the business or the company you're logged in here has a subscription with already Power BI and Copilot, then you'll not get this message. So here it can connection to the workspace supports that. I think it has failed. So my Pro account is not connected directly to Copilot. That's why I'm not using it. So what are we going to do? Okay, yes. What are we going to do now? I'm going to delete all this. Now we start our own. So right click on the table where you want to put your DAX, right? So I'll right click on this table and you see where there is queries. Then I follow that and I say define, it is create a new measure. Quick, define new measure. Yes, here. We are defining a new measure. So when you put that, this is what it brings. It brings for you a framework on how measures are going to be defined. Here they have given us an example, new measure, but this is what I wanted this as a framework to take to ChatGPT that you're going to use data query view. I want to have all the measures in one cluster that I will apply directly to Power BI. So I'm doing that because I just need this framework. So I'm going to copy this framework and take it to ChatGPT, right? So such that ChatGPT will look at this format of how to define new measures. Then it's going to put all the other measures you saw it made for us into this format, and we shall have to copy it at once and bring it back here. Then we shall go ahead and update the model. Then it will create all the measures at once. So let's do that. So I'm going to copy this, copy that. Then we got back to ChatGPT here. Use the same chat here. Then I'm going to say using DAX query view to load all the suggested DAX above. Below is the structure from DAX query view. So I paste my structure here. Don't mind the way how it is. You paste the structure there. Then now I'm going to tell it what to do. Block all the measures into one using the framework comma, then you tell it ready for copy and paste in DAX query view. In other words, I don't want it to give me any explanation. No explanations. Then I will also ask it, create for, or I will say, arrange them in different display folder. Do you know what display folder mean? The folders we already created. I don't want it to give me all the measures, and when I create them, they are going to scatter out without them being in a folder. Even if they are not put in the folder, at least that one is easy. You can always comprehend with it. But let's ask it, arrange them in different display folders for the related measures. Here we go. Nothing else, we go ahead and enter. So obviously it will take less than a minute or two to run this, because this is not a big chunk of work that AI should take long thinking about, because it already has the measures created at the top. So it is searching the web, which was not this is not what we wanted. It means that writing DAX measures, it means that it is hallucinating. It has forgotten that we have the measures at the top. Obviously, I think it was searching for the structure and how it is done. Now you see here, it goes ahead and gives us, it is going to give us it in one block. That is, you see, this I have put here. where there is an instruction I've put here. Block all of the measures into one framework. That's why it is giving us this one framework, such that we can just copy and paste all at once. So you realize it defines display folder 01 core that. It is defining measure table. Now, this is why we copied the other framework, such that every time it defines that table measure, the table measure we have such that all the measures are going to appear there. Then it starts with revenue, fact that. We go to another measure, profit, went down. Then there is a measure here, average. There is a measure here, average selling price, move down. Then another display folder, revenue time intelligence. They have given us the revenue time intelligence, the profit time intelligence, then the order time intelligence, the quantity time intelligence. These are the month to date, year to date, then year on year, and all that. Obviously, some of them you may not use them. Then the display, folder 6, margin and value analysis. We move down, they give us the customer performance. We move down, they give us the salesperson performance. That's where you'll find revenue per salesperson. That is dividing their revenue per the salesperson. Then there is a profit per salesperson, order per salesperson, all that. Some of them you may not use them, but here you have them. Then the product performance, then the customer rankings, then the KPI statuses. Now, this is like having the different statuses, color codings, and all that. Then, just a moment. Then the KPI colors, like I told you that the revenue color, where you want, when revenue is above this, then it should be green, amber, and all that. Some of the colors we shall use them in our next sessions where we are putting together visuals and all that. You have seen those buttons of when it is an increase, when it is a decrease, and even having the color when it is equilibrium or average, giving you that. So all that comes in handy, but you may not use all of them, but at least you have a hint. Now here it comes and evaluates the rows and summarizes out whatever is up. So we are going to copy this. Then I'll come to this query. Actually, you can cancel this query and go back to our query number 1. We paste everything there. Now, when you paste everything there, you have to be keen if you're seeing a red here. You see where there is this. You see everything, all our code is clean. You can imagine all these are like around 70 measures. Actually, there are 112 measures. You see here, there are 112. So we are going to load all these at once, right? So how do you load them? You're going to say update model with changes. So the moment I click on that, this change can only be undone with additional edits. You can't use Control Z. You remember what I told you? In Power BI, Control Z is limited. So I'll go ahead and update model. So the moment I click on that, it's working on that. So we should be able to have an increase of 112 measures. Remember we had 13 measures, something like that. So here we go. You see all these measures, now we have 112. It's unfortunate that they have not given us the tables. So if I come this side, so you see when you look at our measures now, we have 122 measures. So with measures, you can even have 300 measures in a project. So it depends on how neat you structure your things to make sure that everything has its own calculations. You can even create a measure of zero. You say like 0 equals to 0. It becomes a measure because you want to use it somewhere as a base. Or you can create a measure of maximum equals to 100%, such that when you create like a gauge, you use it as a max. You get? So creating as many measures as you can is always good, but also you don't have to get confused with having a lot. Obviously, you go through all of them and know what you're going to use and what you're not going to use. You get rid of it, as how we said last time. So here we have all the measures. Now, since we have not been given the folders, it means the display folders, it means that you can do that by yourself. Since you already have a guideline here, you see, this already is guiding you. Sorry. Here. This is already guiding you that core one, it has the revenue, profit, quantity, and all that. So you can go ahead and create this folder, then you start blocking all these one by one. So, oh, even Elizabeth has blocked. Okay, so how do you create like such folders for now? Maybe just to give it as an example, since we didn't get them, you come to this, then you go to the data model and create the folders. Let's say we start with revenue, profit, quantity, name them. So they are not actually, they're in alphabetic order, which means if you start with revenue, which is this, then you put here that folder name, you click out, then it will automatically create the folder with that. So we also had profit, so you can type here profit. So there is this profit, you can also paste there. Like this. So that goes there. So it is something that you can do for some while, but you do it for the purpose of having your measures in designated folders. Obviously, I will need to ask again here if you can. The challenge we don't want to repeat. Remember, we can't do a Control Z. So we should have got folders. But anyway, we shall look into that the next time, how we get these folders done automatically. But otherwise, that's how you use AI to create measures and upload them at once. Then it will become easy for you when you're creating a dashboard. Okay, now that part is done. I had a target of using exactly 1 hour to run this. So let's go now to visualization. Now that is the next part. How do we create our dashboard? How many pages do we need? You can name them. So always you can always do planning. And most of the cases I used to do planning in PowerPoint. So if I can show you one of it, one of the class which had that. So that was May. So I just want to show you something, then we are going to do it by ourselves. Then we shall ask ChatGPT also to help us and give us a mock-up. Now, when you look at this, let me first open this image. Okay, it has opened here. You transfer to the screen. You can see. Are you able to look at this?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes. Now, now you see. First of all, what you should know. I'm going to ask you to research about the dashboard design principles. First of all, the dashboard design principles. First of all, you have to make sure that you have white space. You see that white space is so important. You don't clutter things and you end up having like a junk of things put together. You make sure that you put related visuals together. If you realize here, we are going to do ours together, our planning together. If you realize here that all scorecards are put together, then here we are going to have like comparison charts, like it can be bar charts or or column charts here. Then here you may have like a pie chart. Then here you can have like a line chart, which is going to be giving you the trends, revenue, profit for the whole month. Then on top, you'll always have slicers and filters. Then you'll put some buttons somewhere such that your people or your clients or your recipients can always filter data with ease, that they click maybe category B, category C, category D, and things filter automatically. So that is one principle. You have you have to make sure that you manage the white space. Why do we need white space? When you read about the principles of managing white spaces, a human eye always needs to rest. That when it looks at a dashboard, it needs to bring somewhere and rest. So, which means if I'm looking at this, then I need to leave some white space such that there is a distinct between this and that. Then also the high level number summaries are always put on top. That's why we shall bring scorecards on top. We bring these charts here, then we bring the line chart at the bottom. Such that the person who wants just summaries will end his eyes on the top. How do we read dashboards? We read dashboards, there is a framework we call the Z principle, like this. The Z principle, like that. That the human eye will always read from left to right. Then when they reach at the end, they move their eyes again back to the left. They start again in the same block in the Z format. So I'm not going to go into details for all this, but I request you to research more about designs in dashboards, and I will maybe also share with you some videos that clearly explain the principles in designing. Or you can even go in Notebook LM. You do the same. It will give you a structure and even explain to you that this is the way how dashboards run. Okay, let's see how we do our planning. So this is always like the first page. You can have like 3 pages depending on how you want to run it. So we are going to open our, let me show you. Anyway, let's open our own. We're going to open, you can even use a rough paper. Just get a paper and start scribbling on it to make sure that you plan right. But I always love using PowerPoint. It is easy to handle, and we have used PowerPoint. I'm not going to send you to use Figma because maybe none of you has touched Figma as yet. But it is also what developers use to put together all this. So let's open a blank one. Here we go. I'm going to delete this. Now, first of all, as I already told you, what we are going to start with is this. Let me see if I can get a dashboard that I can show you. let's go to the site, then you come to resources and report gallery. Let's pick out one. Then you just look at it and you'll see what I'm talking about. So these reports are readily available for you. I will be loading more, but for now you can use those for simulations and all that. So hope you can see this dashboard. Then I will go to this page, period. Now when you look at this dashboard, it is very clean. You feel like it was too much perfect, but this perfection is all about how you plan, right? When you go to segment, you see everything is too perfect. Let's first label out this person principle they used. So the principle used here, you'll realize that they started with the header of the dashboard. What is the dashboard about? Then next they had a major filter, which is the salespeople. Then this is the header of the dashboard and also giving us the time that is selected by the user, such that the user can always tell that I've selected from September this year to December this year. Then some other filters, which are kind of buttons. Then always not to forget to put for the user a clear button. That is a clear button that clears all what has been selected. Even this here is a clear button. Then when you're done with that, there is a navigation pane here. There is a navigation pane here if you're having multiple pages. Because when you realize here, this person had 1 page, 2, 3, 4, 5, and another page which is a help page. Then we come now to another block, which is scorecards. Then we come to another block that is giving us comparisons, which is giving us the first, the second, and the third comparison. And this is by units sold, by net sales, and by profits. Very easy. Then here they gave us another breakdown that was cost of goods by segment. Then here it can be a table, it can be a line chart, it can be whichever that brings details. Very easy, and 1 page is enough to report all what you meant to report in your dashboard. And when you have multiple pages, you always make sure that you keep the format such that when a user comes from one page to another, they don't feel a great change. So you see that when I start from period, actually let me go to period. When I start from period, you just realize the blocks, not looking at the content. The blocks are not going to change, and that's how we create dashboards. Don't make your users' eyes to keep flipping in different stuff. The eyes get tired. And if someone is to make decisions from your data, they're already tired before they look at the context of the data. So you look at the blocks. I'm on period, I click on segment. I go to country, I go to product. Have the blocks changed? No. And we made sure that the scorecards are the same for every page, such that every page this person goes to, the scorecards are the same, such that they shouldn't always go back to look at the scorecards and come back and look at the chart here, right? If we are looking at the units sold for under government and we say it is 470, then you also have units sold, and this person wants to compare, hey, we did 1 million, but government sold 470. We don't want this person, when they are looking at this visual, they should go back where they left the scorecards. If I have space, I will make the scorecards the same, all the pages, just changing the quantities per segment, per country, per product. Very easy. So when you pick inspiration like this, it becomes easy for you to put together what you're already planning. So here I think now you pick it right, what we need to plan. So you're going to start, do your own planning, do your own scribbles, just make sure that it is done right. So we are going to go with 6 scorecards. Exceeding 6 is always becomes clutter. So we are going to go with 6 scorecards. So here we shall start with inserting our text boxes. You're planning. The moment you plan, building a dashboard can even take you 20 minutes. By the moment you don't plan, you're going to hallucinate a lot. What should I put here? You think, you go on the dispenser and take water. You come back and you think. Yet if you had planned, they say 80-20. I have a book here for 80-20 principles. I, I just have it in front of me here. I always read that book that do 20% and it should give you 80% of the output. That also when you come to planning, use 80% of planning and it will give you, use, now this is about breakdown. How do you break down? That if I'm to break down 100%, 80% should go on planning. The 20% of the time will be visualization. But if you don't do that, it will be the inverse. And you can't plan as you build. It becomes hard. So here we are going to insert this. I will want it just without fill color, so I'll remove fill color here because I just want a square, so no fill color. So this is going to be our heading. This is going to be our heading or the name of the dashboard. Then I'll copy this, paste it. This here we shall have. Actually, this will be the header. Then we paste again. This we shall have our filters here. We can have many buttons here, copy paste. It should be easy for you to use this. So I'll put here buttons. Those will be our filters, copy paste. That is here, paste, that is here. Then you can also get some filters here like this, and everything has been marked. Then we come and say the next block is going to have our scorecards. So I'll come and insert and look out for something that is nice for that. This is going to be scorecards like this. So I will give them maybe change the weight of this to that. Then actually I can change it from here. Let's do it green. So these are going to be our scorecards. So I'll copy paste. Now be attentive. If you have not been attentive, I want to show you something. I'll copy paste 6 times. Copy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now these ones are 6. Now I'll pick the last one, take it at the end. You see there is that snap gridding, that snapping. You see the lines showing you that you have put it in the same line. Okay. Now these other 5 ones, I want to distribute them along, but how do I do that? In PowerPoint, it is very easy. Select all of them. After you have put the first and the last, go to shape format. Look out for a line. Here is our line. We shall say we distribute these horizontally. We are going to distribute horizontally, they will distribute. Now we want to put them in the same line at the top, then we shall, without unselecting them, click here and you say align to the top. Boom. You have something that is already clean, the spaces are equal, and no doubt. And even the same thing, you're going to do it in Power BI. Also, Power BI has the same feature of aligning and distributing, making sure that you never have this here like this, and you have a big gap there, like this is below here, you're trying to move it, and in the process of moving it, it increases in shape, you know, that you don't need to do that. Just master on how to do designing. Designing is the art, and whatever we have done from the start, you have pulled your data, you have done transformations, you have done modeling, the hassle you have gone through to do the DAX. Now you're on visualization. You put something that is ugly that people can't spend more than 2 minutes looking at. All the other time has been trashed. So at the end of the day, the way how you present whatever you have been working on is 100% how people are going to use it. However much the time you spend in the kitchen cooking nice foods and all that, using the expensive recipes, the moment you don't present it right on the dining, people are not going to eat the food. They will get, it will be like they will get fatigue of too much, yet you would have arranged them in different dishes, and it becomes easier for someone to pick what they want. So I think we understand on that. So I'm going to copy this same one, bring it here. You see, I'm snapping to make sure that I keep the same margin. Now I will increase this, somehow play with the corners like this, increase this, and change its color. I can come here on fill and change its color maybe to orange like this. Now, I want to make the 3 blocks that we are going to have here. 3, or they can be 4. So you can say copy paste, that one, paste, that one, paste, that one. But making sure that the last one is snapping, giving us the margin at the end. And the first one is also snapping here, giving us the margin at the end. Leave out what is here, then just select all these. Then you just say distribute horizontally, they distribute, then align to the top. Align to the top, they will align with the topmost one, which is this. And there you go. And making sure that at least the spaces here are the same. So I can go ahead and have the same thing downwards. So when I press a control and drag this down, I'll be copying. I'll be creating a copy like this, right? So I've created a copy. So now here I don't want these. Oh, sorry. So here I don't want these two. I'll just enlarge this like this, and select this and this by pressing a control or a shift. Then you drag down, they will all drag, and change the colors of these to a blue, something like that. Now, is there any question anyone is lost on this? Because this is so important on the way how you make your work presentable. I've seen people's dashboards. I'm sorry to say this, they're ugly. And the moment you present something that is not presentable, people are going to struggle getting the context of what you're presenting to them. And the moment they reach that position, you have lost it. However much time you input, you have lost it. So, is there any question on that? If no, let's mark these. Okay. Why I want to mark these, because when I'm taking this to ChatGPT to help me, go ahead, Elizabeth.
Hi, Chris. I just missed out how you created this blue long box. I ended when you were copying the 4 that are color orange.
Okay, this is what I did. Because I never, what you should always master is reusing what you already have. Otherwise, I would keep going back this side and say insert, and I look for the shape. And you saw I did only that once. I did it once here and I replicated all this. Because you keep your settings. The way how you have mastered your corners and everything, you keep it. So if I can delete these. So I said when these ones were still selected, if I can select all of them, when you press a control and drag anything in PowerPoint, it creates a copy. Let me show you an example. If I copy this and anyway, no, not even copying it. If I press a control and drag it and put it in another space, it creates another copy. You see this? Even if I don't do control copy and paste, the moment you press a control and you drag anything, it creates a duplicate of that. You get it? So now I had selected these. Actually, since I wanted the first one and the last one, you do shift and press, select the two. This and this are now selected. I pressed a control and dragged this down like this. Why did I select these two? Because they are the ones keeping for me the margin without distorting the margin. I released. I said, okay, this has to now increase up to here. No, because they are still selected both. So click out, select only this. This had to come up to here. You see now I'm keeping that. You see now that space is straight and is identical. That is what a designing principle perfects. That you have to keep always the spaces identical. When you look at the space here and the space here, you just maintain them. Now I will select this and shift select that. When you select two or more than one shape, when you drag one of them, they all drag down. You get it? I was trying to enlarge them to make sure that even I keep the space aligned, that the spacing in between there is always aligned. Now, when I try to move, do you see the snapping that is the other side on the right? There is that snapping of between the gaps. If you can see it, I can't move my cursor because I'm dragging. There is that snapping you're seeing here and here. When that snapping appears, it just tells you that the gap between this and the other one is the same. And there is the snapping that is appearing here and at the top of this side. Just look at it. It also tells me that the margin you're leaving at the bottom and the margin that you left at the top is the same. So we are doing this in a rough copy. We shouldn't have done all this, but it gives you that expertise that even when you go to Power BI, you're going to do the same thing, making sure that the blocks are kept together. Okay. Most of the cases, I always need to keep these cards in bigger enough because I may want to put more data there. So I can say, let me reduce on the spaces that they have in between here. So if I click on this, I want to show you another technique, and you come on shape format. You see the gap, this width is showing us that it is 4.22. If we make it 5, how does it become? You see how it increases? But if we go ahead and make all the others 5, shall we keep the same space? No. Let's make it 4.6. That is at least enough. So if I select all of them by pressing a shift, you can click one by one and you select all of them. Then here we say 4.6, not 46, 4.6, and enter. You see it has increased, but now this has moved from the margin space. So I'll try to move it here like this. Don't mind on the spacing, then you can always select them and distribute horizontal again. You see we have increased the space a bit. Then also you can say, let's increase the space, reduce the spacing, then increase these cards like this. You say that, such that it will give us more ample space to run with those cards that way. So here You can also move this here, then move this at the end here to make that sure everything is uniform. Now, now I will go ahead and remove all these colors. But first of all, let's keep this. And when we select that and change the format to blue, we are trying to make it different. So now this is already our plan design. You can use this on all the pages. Then someone else will say, what if I want a navigation pane on the left? Then you can recreate it. Recreating it by dropping some of the things. That if you need a navigation page, you can say, I'm going to get rid of this and rid of this, right? Then increase this to make sure that I have a navigation page. Let's say you're getting rid of, oh, let's create another one. Just duplicate this, such that we don't play with the other one. So if we want a navigation page, I will get rid of this, get rid of this. Now, which means I have to increase the size of these because I'm killing one scorecard, or you may not kill it, copy paste. You come here at the bottom and this becomes your navigation pane. And obviously you reduce the corners and you come give it a faint shape like this. That's our navigation pane. So which means we have got rid of one, so I will reduce this to there, then copy paste this and have it here, which is going to have like a pie chart or something else that may run with that. So that space here, you see that snapping I'm getting between these, it just tells me the gaps that are remaining. Now, if I want to increase this and make sure the gaps that are equal, I will move this one here. Now, this space that is remaining here, then it can be an add-on that I can add on that, right? Some of the cases, if you want to be more clinical, because with time, you'll gain the experience. Let's say if I want to measure this space, let me take you in mathematics because it is part. So I will bring a shape. So you shall say insert a shape. So we can just bring our dummy shape here. You see this shape? I'll just draw it here like this. It shows us that the width is 3.5, right? Okay, you memorize that 3.5. And if I reduce it and I look at the space here, just I want to measure the space here is 0.8. So 3.5, 0.8, we remain with 2.3, 2.7, yes, 2.7. Now, 2.7 divided by 3, because we want to add on this, we add on this, and we add on this. What do we get? So the 2.7 divided by 3, we get a 0.9. So whatever we have here as a 7.2, we add there 0.9. So we can go with 8.1. So I'll select these three, these, and come them and add them here to 9.1, like this. You get. The moment you get that, this was helping us to just get the measurement. Just bring this one, even if you bring it there, our focus is to first have the margin. I think we the other one was 7.2 plus 0.9, which was meant to give us, actually it was 8.1, sorry. So this was 8.1, not 8.1 like this. So we go ahead and snap our margin there, then select these three and align them horizontally, then align them to the top. So you see now the space has remained the same. I have increased, I have not hustled in enlarging them. I have not hustled in estimating this enlarge, but also you could have done that. It could have come out well. Then another thing, this is just showing you the principles to master some of the things, to put some of the things back in your mind that this is what is always done. But it is not a must that you must do all this we are doing, right? So here, which means we are going to have our navigation pane, we shall have our visual, we shall have the 3 scorecards and all that. Now, we are going to screenshot this and take it to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to give us 3 pages or 2 pages of a dashboard. Inputting all the measures, right? The comparisons, the pie charts, the line charts, the tables, and all that to make sure that we come up with a mock-up, right? It is going to help us to know which is going to be where. Then in case you're not able to plan and have this one right, always go to Pinterest. I know we have gone there to look for designs of clothes, of what, but as a data analyst, you go there to look for, I will say landscape. I'm searching here. Landscape. Power BI dashboards. So the moment you have that, then you come and look out for, you know, here now you're looking out for inspiration. Like you pick out something, a dashboard like this, you get like this. You see the principles I've been telling you, scorecards on top. Here you have a pie chart and maybe a trend, which is a combination. Then also you have something else. Then at the bottom you have details. But it is also too compacted, but you can always look forward to make sure that you don't compact like this. Now, this is the inspiration we are looking out for a scorecard. To have the number, to have maybe the previous year, because we already have this. So you can always either screenshot this and take it in your PowerPoint, such that it is an example of what you need. Then even having a different things. So you can always pick inspiration. Let's say if I'm picking an inspiration for a scorecard, I can go ahead and screenshot this. I can tell you when we reach data visualization, it is all being creative. It is not a matter of bringing things and putting them together. Most of the cases, though this one is so faint, let me look out for something else. But I need an inspiration of a card like that. No, because we need to have at least something that has a comparison at the bottom and all that. You see, okay, here we have this. So if I enlarge this, obviously most of them are faint because, but all in all, you can also describe that in your report, in what you need here. You can always keep telling ChatGPT to iterate and give you something. Now we are going to name this and we shall do the descriptions the other side. Now this is a mock-up you can go with, and on top of that, this is going to be the background we are going to use. In other words, when we come to Power BI, we are no longer going to redraw these. What are we going to do? We are going now to create our background. Just pay attention. Today we are just doing the planning. Next time it is when we are going to do the real thing. So I will duplicate this. Now I'm going to remove the coloring to keep it way smart for the background, which means if I'm taking this as the background, I'll not need this at the top, right? I'll just leave it blank because I'll just type in there. So this, I'm going to make sure that I remove the colors you can put it to white, then you give it like a grayish border like that, then you come and give it a shadow. Where are our shadows? Where are our shadows? We need a shadow. So we can first, okay, the shadow is here. So we are going to look for a shadow, and we have a shadow at the bottom. Don't go for these sharp ones. We just go for a slight shadow. Now this, though this is at offset at the top, we need the one that is offset at the bottom. So we can go with the offsetting at the top, but right click and properties. Okay. Offset at the bottom. Offset at the bottom is here. So you see that our scorecards are kind of leaving the surface of the background. So we are going to do the same. So I'm going to just copy this. You come here home, you copy paint this, copy paint, and we do the same for all these. So when you double click on this painter, then you can do more than one like this, like this. Then now for the pen, we just need the space. We don't need this lining and all that, but obviously you can also give it you remove this and make it no fill. Then you give it a slight border. We always go with the shades of gray because they don't shout. Now this is going to be our background in Power BI, but we are not going to leave it white the other side. You can decide to leave it white, or you can decide to give it, right click on this and look out for format background. And the background of this, we can decide to give it a solid of a faint grayish like that. Or if your color theme as a company is blue, you can look out for a faint bluish like that. And even you go ahead and make it more transparent to make sure that at least these things are popping off. Now, we are going to use this background. Let me show you first of all how we take this background before we go to AI to give us a mock-up. Now, we are taking this background in our Power BI. You see how planning helps you even to come up with a background that you are going to use well finished, and the moment you get the visuals, it will just be inserting. So you come, after you're done, you come to your PowerPoint, you go to File, then you say Export. I'm exporting this as a PNG. Export it as a PNG. Then I'm exporting the current slide only. So here the width they are giving me that I can leave it, I can increase it from the other side, then I export. It's gone. So we just need to check whether we have it in our downloads. Just check whether we have it in our downloads here. Okay, where is it? Did it come? Okay, here it is. Let me see which folder is it. Okay, it went in the wrong folder. I have to put it to downloads. Okay, now let's go to Power BI. I want to show you this before we finish up, such that it will become easy for you to put together. So you see like what we are going through, putting scorecards together, all that we are going to delete. Let's start with another page, which we are going to call maybe executive summary, or we can call it overview, something like this. Now, on overview here, we are going to bring now our background. How do we bring the background? Right click, anywhere under space, you say canvas, format canvas, and you'll get this. Now, under format canvas, first of all, I will always want you to start from the page information. The name we have given it overview, it is a standard page. You have to make sure that it's always standard, not a tooltip, not a drill through. We shall go through these maybe at some point. Leave the page information. Come to canvas settings. Canvas settings, it is always 16 by 9, which is a TV screen size. Though we always want to make it custom and give it more resolution. The resolution here, you can write it down or you can always work with it, is we use 1902 and 1080. 1902 and 1080. So this resolution will always help you for you to input more of the visuals without having them becoming so big and the space getting over quickly. And also when you present this on a bigger screen or a giant screen, it doesn't become so vague. So that is it. Now let's go and bring, actually this is 1920, not 1902. It is 1920. Sorry for that. It is 1920. Then you make sure that you leave always at the top. It means it snaps at the top. When you say middle, it will always be in the middle. So let's go with middle. Okay. Now, on the canvas background, that's where we go to bring our background. So instead of using the color, which we would have said blue, and when you reduce the transparency here, you see the blue appears. You would have put colors. But we are not going to go with that. We have already done planning. We know what we need. So we don't need a color. What do we need is we want to browse our image. So we're going to look for the image under downloads, which is this. And I will go ahead and insert it. This image has already been inserted, but why is it that you can't see it? Because the transparency is still 100%. Some people have always called me on this. So this color was meant to be reset to default. So we are going to reduce this up to 0 and it will appear. But when it appears, it is appearing just in the middle and I want it to fill. So you see it is fitting, but I want it to fill, and there it fills, right? Which means right now, if I bring any visual from this side, let me bring one card here. Do we have a card here? Yes, we have a card. So if I bring one card from here and put it here, now you see, let me get this difference. You see how this card has appeared here, and you see how it was appearing this side. Here it was too big, and here it comes so small that it will help me to fit all the 6 and looking at them without having to scroll, zoom and do that because of the resolution we have increased here. So what we are going to do, that is it. So you can always zoom out this to make sure that you look at what you're doing, but at least your resolution is already maintained, right? So you can zoom in or out. So what I'm going to do here, maybe for now, just to make sure that we see how whether it will fit in, let me remove one. Let me remove the first one. We remain with one. So I'll do like that. Then what do we do here now? Because it has its boundary, it still has its own color. Let me put it here such that we look at it very well. You see, it still has its own background color. We have to remove all that. So you can, when it is clicked on, since we have come with our own background, so everything will be transparent such that it fits into what we have brought. So you can start by typing here border. Let's look for background first. So make sure that you uncheck all the backgrounds. You uncheck all the backgrounds. All backgrounds, you uncheck them. Is there another background? You uncheck it. You see now it has remained transparent. Then when you click out, you see, okay, it has no border. Well and good, we are okay. So which means make sure that it doesn't have any scrolling. Go ahead and bring it here. See how it fits very well. So it becomes easy now that you can copy, paste this and put it here. That was profit, maybe this is revenue. You can zoom in. So which means you can copy paste the different scorecards and you just replace the values. Okay, here, this one here, a copy paste. You see how it becomes quick? Copy paste when you have already planned and you have come up with your own background already. Now having the headers here, it becomes easy. It's just a matter of come here, you add a text box. Then this text box comes here, and also you make sure that the text box has no background. So we can say this is going to be a sales performance dashboard, or it can be even a company name. So select that and increase the around to 32. Yes, make sure that it is in the same line. You bold it, give it your theme color. Maybe the theme color for the company is blue. Just come here and look out for blue. Then when Power BI always limits us with some colors, and you look out for other colors, you can't get them. You look out for like green, you can't get it. You come here on more, you start struggling getting the exact green your company is using. You always now have to go and ask for, or you get the hex code for the color you want. The hex code you can always even screenshot the brand color, put it in ChatGPT and ask it, give me the hex code for this color. It will give you the hex code, such as when you bring the hex code, it automatically marks the color that you want. You don't have to hassle with that. So I'll bring this, just drag from these dots here, bring it here at the top. Then what do I need? I don't need this background. So click on that. The moment you select any frame or item on your dashboard, go to format. Now it is showing format text box. Just type. Don't look for it, but it is always in size and style. It is here background. But if you type, you don't have to hassle for now since you're still learning to navigate. Just type background, then you remove background. The background is gone. Then you can bring here your logo. You can do anything. Let's say you can say insert an image. You click on this image, remove background. Then we need to pull the image. No. What do we need to insert? Select the image. We have to, where do we select the image from? Okay, here. Image, upload image. Let's browse the image. So I'll go and browse my image. Will I be able to get it? Let me go in downloads whether there is any icon I can bring. Okay, this is another hell of it. But anyway, what we need is, let me see. I want to show you how you can add like a logo for the business you're running with. Let me look out for anything. Yeah, I have a logo here. Let me rename this PMI. Okay. So when I come this side on downloads, I have to look for PMI. It's here. Okay. So this is the logo. So you can have your logo for the business or company and put it there. Easy peasy. So this I always want it to be like at the start this side, such that I don't eat up space for the filters. Remember, now you're going to start bringing filters like this filter, and you put your dates there. So this filter, you come now and look for the date, which is, I think, just type here. Now you see now how searching is going to be so nice. that because you still have a lot of measures you haven't put in folders. So me typing for the date here, it becomes easy for me to pull where the date is. And you have to pull the date that is in the calendar. So I'll pull it and put it there. So here it gives me that. And make sure that everything you bring, you can remove always the background. And I've told you that whenever you bring anything and you want to remove the background, just type here, click search for background, remove all the background like that. Then you see this is what you have. Though it is kind of small, but you can always increase its size from here, size and position. You can always increase the size here, the height, and name them. But you can always figure out with that. Now here you'll have the date, you can select the start date, and maybe you select the end date. You see already the numbers are changing. So here we have already done the scorecard. These scorecards, you can go ahead and name them. Like here now, you can change this to revenue. Since we already have revenue, we had revenue here. You see, we change that to revenue. Then you come here on references and give it the percentage revenue, or depending, or you can look for year over year to date or month to date. Where is month to date? Month to date for revenue is here. Then you can also look out for year to date like this, and you look out for year to date revenue. Where is it? Revenue year to date revenue, year to date revenue. Okay, it's here. So the moment you put those, but here you see obviously it will increase, you manage it. So month date will only appear when you select the month, the day of the month, then it will give you month to date for that month. So I can remove that, then I remain with year to date. So there you go. So you have the revenue and the revenue year to date, which means this, since this is 2026, for 2026 we only have 2.5 million. So you can go ahead and change this to revenue, change this to that. But you see, we still have some borders. If I can control zoom this out, you see, we still have those linings and you may not need them. You see those linings, you can go ahead always and remove them by searching for border here and make sure that all the borders are checked off. You see that it has gone off and it becomes so clean in that format. Now this, like this year to date, that's where we said like giving it a color, green, red, depending on, anyway, that will be for another day. Now, here this is just a snippet. We haven't gone to Power BI to, AI to give us, align with us which visuals to put where. So here I was giving you a glimpse of it. Let's go back to our PowerPoint. This. So this is what we are going to take to PowerPoint. The beauty, you can always do like this. You can always name these blocks, or you can even name these charts. You say maybe this block, I need this block, this is going to be a navigation pane, or you can even double click there and name that this is a navigation pane like this. We can put this in black like that. Then you rename this is going to be, you can say it is going to be a donut chart. So Power BI, AI will figure for you, this is going to be a trend line or a trend chart like this. Then this, you can say comparison chart. Copy that. Then you do the same here, do the same here, right? Then now these are scorecards. You see, what we are doing here is something that will support you even do other projects. Now that when you start another new project, you don't start from scratch. You already have templates. Like now for me, when I'm taking on projects, I have many templates. You don't expect me to start from scratch building one visual by the other. I just get a template of another project I use, start from that, tweak it. In the next 40 minutes, I've given you a draft as a client. And you know that story of an old man who went and did a small knock on a ship, and he invoiced the bill to, is it $20,000? And they asked him, the small knock, why do you invoice that? He said, the knocking was, is it $10? Then is it 19,990 was to know where to knock. That is the experience. So he charged the experience more than what the work done. So also make sure that you have the experience, that you already have created some things. It is always just a matter of to start from the templates you have already created. So those are scorecards. Then here I can say, obviously here we said this is a logo, which we have already put. This is a title or header. Then these are, you can put here buttons. You can actually just insert here just a text box at the bottom here, and they call these buttons. So we can just put it there. Then here you can name this as date slicer. So how beautiful it is. Now this is what we do in planning. Just imagine you have planned like this and you tell me that you reach designing a dashboard and you start thinking, what should I put here? Very easy. So I will screenshot this. Then take it to ChatGPT. Then where we stopped from, don't start a new one. I know it takes tokens, but don't start a new one, because when you start a new one, we are starting afresh. So I will paste that there. I'm going to dictate. With the template of a mockup shared in the attachment, I want you to give me a mockup of 3 pages of a Power BI dashboard. Inputting all the visuals, use a sample of the dataset with the framework I shared above to give me all the KPIs, the visuals, how they will be set, and a step-by-step guide on how every visual will be configured in Power BI. So what am I telling it here? You see, this is Whisper. It really formats, it really reads the way how you wanted it to be formatted. So what I want here, it is going to give me a template of what I have given it is a mock-up of what we have planned with. But I want it to give me a mock-up of 3 pages and of a Power BI dashboard, inputting all these KPIs. Now, sometimes here it is going to give us, we want to ask ourselves, which format should they give us? They may give you pictures and it becomes so dummy and you can't replicate them, you can't reproduce them in Power BI. So I will ask it to give me output HTML. Sorry, HTML means hypertext markup language, like what they use to do websites. So I want it to give me a file that I will open in a browser that will give me all those details I need. Now, here you come and tell it for scorecards. For scorecards, I need you to include also reference layouts like year to date, month to date, the percentages. To make sure that we run all the 6 on all the pages identical. There we go. So output and HTML. So an HTML is a file that they give you that opens in a browser, and it also gives you the interactivity. So an HTML with the interactive buttons and slices. So I will share the link of this Power BI chart, sort of this AI chart, such that you can have everything we have done in this chart, such that when you're doing your own, you can refer to these prompts. So I will share with you this. Actually, I will attach it on the module. So I will go ahead and boom, run this. Obviously, you may wait because it's going to be something that it will take some time. Our time is like done, but I will, as it is putting it together, let me get questions from you guys. And I know I have tried to put it on speed for the visualization, because that is the part I know it is going to be very nice for you to always practice on. But obviously, we always start with cleaning the data, modeling the data, creating the DAX, then finally you reach this part. Then the next part we shall be going to is how do we share our report after we have put it together. That is, we shall create workspaces and see how we put it online, that I can share a link with my boss. They just open it, then me on a daily, I just update my data and refresh. Like, you just take 30 minutes of a report that you have been taking 2 days to come up with. Okay, as you take a sip of water, maybe as we wait for this, if you're still in office, just in a few minutes we are leaving. Any question? I see Kenneth has dropped. Any question as it is putting for us the HTML file? So I'll share with you this PowerPoint. Let me save it. Okay. So this is planning and background. So we'll share with you this. Oh, well, I will attach it on our module. Now here we go. They have given us the HTML that includes 3 dashboard pages, 6 identical KPIs, da da da. Let's not waste time. Let's download our mockup. I will put it under our folder. Then go to that folder and open it. Oh, Kenneth, you're back. That's good. So here we are, AI has already created for us the HTML. Why I want you always to ask for the HTML, because it will be somehow giving you the interactions to just know exactly how you're going to run with it. So let's go to that folder and open the HTML. This is here, and here. This is the HTML file. Now I will go ahead and double click on this. Okay, it has opened from this side. Okay. Just a moment. So I'm going to drag it and put it in a browser. Just drag it, put it in a browser here. This is the way it opens. So guys, you look at the mockup AI has given us. Very smart. It means that if we had given it the full data set, it would have given us nearly what we need. Now, here Obviously, they have put here Sabtech Online Executive Sales Dashboard. They have given us the buttons. You see, the buttons are going through these pages. 1, 2, 3. That's why I want you always to ask for an HTML because it is interactive. It gives you at least a start of how you're going to do things. Then here they have given us the years 2023, 2025. You see when the data is changing, that's the interactivity we needed. If you click on the dashboard here, this is the executive, this is the product and customer performance, then this is the sales team. Now, because I told it not to change anything on the scorecards, it has not changed. All the scorecards are the same for all the pages. But on the executive, we have revenue by sales territory, the top 5, the top customers, and all that. Now, here it has a guide. I was so inquisitive to that. I need a guide to help me on how I'm going to build this in Power BI. So when you click on the guide, it brings you the guide. It is part of the file, the HTML file. So you see the guide, it is telling me on the executive overview, you're going to get the revenue by sales territory. You're going to make a donut chart. You put the dim city sales territory on the legend. You put the value as a revenue, and you sort descending. It is giving you already a guide on how you can create this pie chart. You go forward. This was on the scorecards. The revenue card, you're going to look out for a call out, you bring revenue. Then you go on the reference labels, you add the revenue Y to date, the revenue month to date, and all that. All these measures we have